A divided Zanu-PF begins plans for constitutional amendments to accommodate the 2030 mantra. Family, we are seeing that Emmerson Mnangagwa is still hell-bent on extending his term to 2030, while he publicly comes and denies it and says that he's a lawyer and a constitutionalist. He respects the constitution of the land and the constitution of Zanu-PF. And yet, behind the scenes, we have realized that Emmerson Mnangagwa will be speaking a different gospel. We have heard now Zanu-PF beginning to make announcements that its members must start to make preparations for constitutional amendments to accommodate the 2030 chorus. So what we are looking at now is a period of time where the Zanu-PF is beginning now to test the waters. I'm sure what has happened with the arrest of our cadres and our comrades in the struggle and all the jailed activists, and also the demonstrations that did not go as planned, I'm sure Mnangagwa could have started to tell himself that he still remains invincible and he can go ahead and do whatever that he deems necessary without any consequences coming after him. But of course, that can be a self-deceptive idea, because the resistance that he might think could come from the people of Zimbabwe or the masses of Zimbabwe could actually come from the other direction that is not looking at, which is right from inside ZANU-PF. Because the tensions, we know them. With the tensions, we have seen them on how much from the military side to the Chwenka faction, the G40, and many others, even in the Lacoste faction, who are not happy with what Mnangagwa is planning. So we are going to be looking at a period of time that is going to be a bit volatile for Emmerson Mnangagwa. It's going to be very tricky, because now he is testing the depth of a river by his own leg. And that one is not something that is advisable. We know that when you are testing the depth of a river, you don't use your leg. You put a stick, because you never know how deep that place could be. You might find yourself drowning. And that's exactly the situation that we are looking at, which is likely going to begin to happen. But I was talking to some people that were saying, why is this man doing this? Why is this man not seeing that he has done enough? He has failed enough, and he shouldn't be forcing himself to do things that are going to be costly to himself. And I answered those people and I said, we should allow Emmerson Mnangagwa to do such funny things. Let's allow him to do that, because if he doesn't do that, then things may continue to go well for him. He must start the fire. Let him start the fire that will consume him. So it's going to be working out for the good for the Zimbabwean people if he continues to mess up the way that we are seeing him messing up. So it's something that is also going to be working out for the advantage of the citizens of Zimbabwe who want to see things happen. Let him rock the boat in ZANU-PF. It's good, because it will create enough tension that is needed, because we've seen how ZANU-PF, when they are united, how they will continue to thwart the efforts of the citizens of Zimbabwe in whatever that is planned against their dictatorship and their corruption and corrupt rule. So the best way is that let them start to fight each other from right inside. So we are seeing a report that is showing that these are the plans that are already being spoken and communicated right within ZANU-PF circles. Right? It says ZANU-PF Harare province has appealed to relevant authorities to start making the necessary constitutional amendments to allow Emmerson to continue in charge of the country beyond 2028, when his current term is due to expire. So this is the thing that we have seen, and quite a lot of people have been responding to this. Zimbabwean people responded to this, and they were saying that this is something that is going to cost the country, and not only Emmerson Mnangagwa only, but it is going to cost quite a lot. And somebody is saying here, Mr. Kapp is joining them with his cup of tea under the tag transitional GNU. You see, I know that this one is and his followers have the guts to call others sellouts. These are people that are supporting Hopo Ishinono and thinking that the government outside is going to be happening and things like that. So someone is saying, how is it possible you will be 90 years in 2028? You see, exactly. You will be much more older than that. Remember, Mnangagwa is not 82 like he says. He's actually 87. He's supposed to be turning 87 this year. You still remember when the president of Namibia died, who was 82, and Mnangagwa called him my young brother. He had forgotten that to Zimbabwe, he has declared that he is younger than that. You see, so but when you are now speaking in normal terms, you always forget what exactly is happening. There's somebody who says, I support Zanu, but this is not it. Constitution should not be amended for anything. Second term are enough. So you see, the other guy saying Satanist, the other saying Vagutangi Summer 1, November, December is coming for them. Kucha Chema. So there are a lot of comments that Zimbabwean people have been giving on this very issue. But the truth of the matter is, this may not end well. This could be one of the major blows that are going to see Emerson Mnangagwa finding himself in a place that he never expected to find. So for those that are also coming up, the Hopewatch Nonos coming on up with their own issues and ideas. Of course, we know we are going to be talking about most of those issues today on the main channel. So I'll give more shows today on the main channel where I'm going to be talking about many of these issues. Starting from the next show, I'll be crossing over to the main channel. I want us to be discussing on quite a lot of issues. By the time we reach 8 p.m., 9, somewhere there, we will have done maybe more than 7, 8 shows, because we need to touch on issues that are very important by the grace of God. So what we are looking at is let things go like that. Let Mnangagwa continue to rock the boat. It may help the struggle. It may help to speed up the process of his end. So people must not just be looking at negatively and crying about it on one side. They must also be looking on the other side where it could work out for the good of the Zimbabwean people. So let's continue to watch. These are just updates that we are giving you of the developments that we are seeing happening in the country as we are entering a very critical season. This is a season of change, a season that God is delivering Zimbabwe. And for those that don't believe it and are mocking scriptures, mocking the cup that says God is in it, let them continue to do that. But we know where we are going. We know what God has planned for our nation, and nobody is going to be able to stop what God has started in his seasons and in his times. So it's very exciting. So this is what it is. Let's continue to pray for the nation of Zimbabwe and to demand for the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, their days are numbered. Thank you so much, family, for joining me on the show. Let us continue to support the shows by subscribing if you have not yet, and also putting your comments and your like. It also uplifts this channel. I wish this channel could also be supported like the main channel, Chatufa TV Productions, so that it also rises. There's a purpose for this channel that we would want to use eventually in the future. So let's keep it alive. Let's support it. Let's not skip adverts. Let's allow it to go so that it also gets promoted more and more. Otherwise, thank you so much, family. Remain blessed till we meet again in the upcoming shows on the main channel. Remain blessed.